Alright, hello math fans. Alright, so this is day 2, and what we're going to do is we're going to add and subtract rational expressions with unlike denominators. Okay, so this is key. Unlike denominators. Yesterday we just added, 2/3 plus, 5/3 and got an answer by keeping the denominator, having it the same. Now it's going to be different. So let's kind of start out with a basic example here, just to kind of refresh your brains a little bit. If you have 1/2 plus 1/3, all right, you're looking for something called the LCD. That's the lowest or least common denominator. Okay, so least or lowest, I like lowest actually better. Lowest common denominator. And what that means is you're saying what does 2 and 3 go into evenly? The smallest number. Well, of course they go into 6. So in this case here, my LCD is equal to 6. So what my goal is, I need to get that and that to be a 6. And you say, well, what do I multiply by 2 to get a 6? Well, you multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply by 3 over 3. And you're like, well, wait a second, you can't just multiply by a number. I mean, how can you change the problem? What is 3 over 3? 3 over 3 is 1. So I can do that. Same thing with, I want to get 3 to 6, I multiply it by 2 over 2. Again, I'm multiplying it by 1, but if you notice now, my denominators are going to be 6's. So the first one I get 3 over 6 plus 2 over 6. That gives me 5 over 6, and that's my answer. Okay? So that's the key, but I want you guys to do it this way, where you multiply by the number over itself to get your LCD, to get your common denominator. Okay? It's very important. Alright, so let's do, I just have a bunch more examples to do with you guys. Let's just do one with a variable. 2x over 3 plus 5x over 2. So again, I'm only concerned about the denominator. So I multiply the first one. Again, let's figure this out. LCD is 6, same as before. So I multiply this by 2 over 2, and this by 3 over 3. Okay, so I get 4x over 6 plus 15x over 6. That just gives me 19x over 6. And that's my answer. It's pretty easy. Okay, let's do one with a variable. 3 over x plus 5 over 2x. Alright, well my LCD is 2x. Do you agree with that? I hope. So that means I need to multiply this one by 2 over 2, and this by nothing because it's already 2x. So I get 6 over 2x plus 5 over 2x. That gives me 11 over 2x. And I know sometimes people look at this and they're like, well, wait a second, can't I just reduce that? Well, yeah, but if you reduce it, you're going to get 3 over x, and then you got to start all over again and multiply it by 2. So what you're kind of doing is you're kind of unreducing it. I know that's not really necessarily a good word, but you're unreducing the fraction to give you a common denominator. All right? So that's your answer, 11 over 2x. All right. Let's do x plus 3 over 2 plus x minus 2 over 5. All right. LCD equals 10. So I'm going to multiply this by 5 over 5 and this by 2 over 2. Now the deal is, math fans, you have to, it's 5 times x plus 3 and 2 times x minus 2. You have to distribute the 5 just like you have to distribute the 2. So you get 5x plus 15 over 10 plus 2x minus 4 over 10. Okay? And then what you could just combine terms, it's plus, so that's nice. So 5x plus 2x is 7x. 15 minus 4 is 11, positive 11 over 10. And that's your final answer. 7x minus, or plus 11 Yeah, 7x plus 11 over 10. Okay. Try one more here. I got a bunch more examples to do with you guys. Okay, 3x minus 2 over 3x minus x minus 1 over 4x. Okay, what's the LCD? LCD is 12x. So I multiply this one by 4 over 4, and this one by 3 over 3. Now, this is where you got to be careful. And it's not a bad idea to actually set it up this way. I know I'm going to have, I'm going to have 12x on the bottom. Okay, I know I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one big old line here, and I'm going to write it out. 3x minus 2. And I know it's overwritten over here, but it's really minus 3x minus 1. If you write it out that way, you're less likely to make a mistake, because this is the deal. You got to not only distribute, but you have a negative here too. So this really, it's a negative 3 that you're distributing and a positive 4 that you're distributing. So I really get 12x minus 8 minus 3x plus 3 over 12x. Okay, so 12x minus 3x is 9x, and negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5 over 12x. And that's your final answer. Okay, so I'll tell you, math fans, most of the time what's going to happen is you're not going to have to reduce at the end. You may have to factor in and cancel, but probably, it's a good chance you won't have to. But you always check, right? Our second to last step is always factor, and then our last step is to cancel. All right, another example. Okay, 2x plus 1 over x minus 2x plus 8 over 2x. Okay, LCD equals 2x. So I multiply this one by 2 over 2. So I'm going to put 2x on the bottom, and I get 2 parentheses 2x plus 1 minus, there's nothing there, so it's just 2x plus 8. But guys, you still have to distribute that negative and distribute that 2 there. So I get 4x plus 2 minus 2x minus 8 all over 2x. So 4x minus 2x is 2x. 2 minus 8 is negative 6 over 2x. Okay, remember I told you the second to last step is you factor the top. So I'm going to factor a 2 out of there. So I get 2 parentheses x minus 3 over 2x. Now there's multiplication here. So I can cross the 2's out, and my final answer is x minus 3 over x. Alright. Looks pretty reasonable. Looks pretty reasonable. Alright, so let's do a problem a little trickier. And I want to talk about a few things. So 3 over xy squared minus 5 over 2x squared y. The LCD for variables that are multiplied like this in the bottom, what you want to do is your LCD is the highest exponent for each variable. So in other words, here's an xy squared, here's an x squared y. So y squared and x squared are the highest exponents. And then, of course, the 2 is there. So my LCD for this problem is going to be 2x squared y squared. Okay. Then I'm going to multiply this guy. Well, it's an x. So how do you get that to be an x squared? Don't you multiply it by x? And I need a 2. So I really need 2x over 2x. And same with this guy. What do I need? I just need a y. You guys agree with that? I need a y over y to get to be 2x squared y squared. So then I multiply it out. I get 6x minus 5y over 2x squared y squared. All right. So let's try a couple more here. 7 over 4x squared y to the 5th plus 2 over 10x to the 5th y to the 4th. Okay, what do 4 and 10 go into evenly? 20. Right, it's the smallest number. So my LCD is 20 x to the 5th y to the 5th. So let's multiply it out. I need to multiply this by 5x cubed because that's going to give you x to the 5th. So 5x cubed over 5x cubed. And this one by a 2y because that's going to be y to the 5th. All right, so that's it. And we've got 35x cubed plus 4y over 20x to the 5th y to the 5th. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Let's try another one here. This is kind of a large one here. X plus 2 over 3x plus 3x minus 1 over 6x minus 5x plus 2 over 9x. Now we've got 3 denominators, and we need to figure out an LCD. Well, do you guys agree? It's definitely got an x in it. No question about it. What do 3, 6, and 9 go into evenly? Okay, well, of course, not 9, because 6 doesn't go into 9. Not 12, because 9 doesn't go into 12. What's going to be? It's going to be 18, because 3 goes into 18, 6 goes into 18, and 9 goes into 18. So there we go. LCD is 18x. So I'm going to multiply this one by 6 over 6. This by 3 over 3. And this by 2 over 2. All right, so I'm going to write on the bottom 18x, and I'm just going to write everything out here. X plus 2, or 6 times x plus 2, plus 3 times 3x minus 1, minus 2 parentheses 5x plus 2. All right, and then it's a matter of just distributing everything. So I get 6 3 minus 10x minus 4 all over 18x. And then you combine like terms. 6x plus 9x, 15x. 15x minus 10x is 5x. 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. So plus 5 over 18x. And the last step is factor. Well, the second to last step, and then we cancel. So you get x plus 1, and on the bottom we get 18x. Is there anything to cancel? Nope. So that is my final answer. All right? So I hope you guys learned something here, but that's what you need to do for all these problems. You've got to find the LCD and then, multiply it out. Okay? And, so you can combine your denominators and you're good to go. All right, my fans? That's it. Have a nice day.